City of Fort Wayne is spending millions of dollars on Franke Park development, and the Parks and Recreation Director says when all the construction is finished, it will be an even bigger attraction. Fox 55's Brianna Bias is live to break down what they have planned for the city's largest park. Brianna.
Drew, I'm live at Franke Park in front of one of those pavilions on the property. Now, this one behind me houses 300 people, but the Parks and Rec Department tells me they often have reservation requests for events with even more people than that. So they're getting to work on a new, larger pavilion to make that possible. But that's not the only project they have up their sleeves. Hoosiers travel from all over the state to use Franke Park's trails. And there's no bigger fan of the park than Alec Johnson with Fort Wayne Parks and Recreation.
I spend a lot of time on the off-road mountain bike trails. We have 10 miles here, as I mentioned.
As a frequent visitor himself, he knew 3 years ago it was time to start working toward improving the city's largest park.
Now we're at the point where we're actually implementing the first phase of that plan.
Phase 1 of the project is going to cost $22.8 million.
Over the course of the last month, we've finalized our funding for the whole project, so it is fully funded. There are many different parts that fit into that.
Some of their main priorities in that first phase are more parking and flood prevention, something that's been an issue for years.
We're pulling the banks back and actually increasing storage for floodwaters.
They're also adding a new park entrance on Goshen Road.
And imagine sort of like a state park entrance where it's going to come in and sort of wind through the woods, over the Spiron Creek on a new bridge, and then you're going to see the brand new pavilion.
All of this is only the first half, though. They've got a lot up their sleeves for phase 2 as well. But first, they're going to focus on spending the $22.8 million they already have. And he expects all of that construction on phase 1 to take 18 to 20 months. But don't worry, he says all of that work will not inhibit your use of the park during that time. They won't have to block any entrances, and they won't have to cut off or block any roads. He says the only potential impact could be some construction traffic there on Goshen. Live at Franke Park, I'm Brianna Bias, Fox 55 News.